Hi there, it's Tiffany from the Butler Area Public Library, and I would like to welcome you to our newest video series on employment resources. This series is going to be all about the steps that you can take to seek out new or different employment and how the library can help you with that process. So for this first week's video, we are going to be talking about how you go about beginning your job search. The most important thing when beginning a job search is to go into the entire situation with a plan. It doesn't have to be a very elaborate plan, but it definitely has to be a plan that has your specific circumstances in mind. So some of the things that you are going to need to consider as you are beginning a job search are things like, what type of a position is it that you plan on seeking? Are you seeking full-time employment versus part-time employment? Are you seeking seasonal employment or contract work? So you want to make sure that you are seeking the type of position that's going to work for you. Additionally, you want to keep in mind if there is a specific field or fields that you want to be working in. So do you want to be narrowing your search only to customer service positions, or do you want to be limiting yourself to construction jobs or retail jobs, or are you going to expand that search to more than one job field? There's no right or wrong answer to these questions of what type of a position it is that you're seeking. It really depends on your particular situation, but you do want to go into your search armed with a plan in terms of where you have the ability to be flexible and where you do not, because it's going to save you time in the long run when you're doing your initial job searching. Another thing that you want to have as part of your plan is your salary requirement. Is there a specific salary range or pay range that you are going to once again be limiting your search to? The same philosophy goes for geographic area. Is there one particular area? Is it a 5-mile radius? Is it a 10-mile radius? Are you willing to relocate for your job search? Are you willing to do some commuting to a certain extent, or do you need to stay local? And those things might depend on whether you have transportation, whether you'll be taking public transportation, whether you will be seeking remote work. So these are all things that you want to have planned out in advance, because you always want to start a job search out as broadly as possible and narrow it down. So if you know that you already have areas that are built into your plan that require you to narrow that search in the first place, it's better to go ahead and start that way. For example, if you live in Butler and you want to make sure that you are doing your job search within a 10-mile radius, it doesn't really make sense to start your job search out in the greater Pittsburgh metropolitan area, because you know you really aren't going to be interested in any of those jobs that are closer to Pittsburgh. So why invest your time into searching for positions that aren't going to meet your needs? The more you have planned out in advance, the easier the actual searching part of the job search is going to be for you. So once you have decided what type of a position in terms of the hours or seasonal or contract, the field that you will be working in, the salary that you are seeking, the geographic location that you are seeking to kind of limit your search to, then you need to begin thinking about how you're actually going to search for positions that meet all of those requirements. And really, most people do the majority of their job searching online at this point, whether it is on the computer or using apps on your mobile phone. So those are the kinds of resources I would like to talk to you about now, but keep in mind that's not the only way to do job searching. So now I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can look at a few examples of how to actually do your search and what tools there are available to help you with that. Okay, so the first tool I would like to tell you about is a website called Indeed.com. And what Indeed.com is, it's sort of like a job database. They pull job postings in from several different places, and kind of make a master list that you can then narrow your search down to. So already on this screen, I have limited my search just to a basic zip code, which is the zip code for Butler, Pennsylvania, and it has defaulted to within 25 miles. So now I would like to show you how to limit that search based on some of that criteria that we talked about just a few moments ago. So the first one that we're going to take a look at here is the geographic location that I mentioned. Let's say that you know you want to stick pretty close to Butler City proper. You only want to go within a 5 to 10 mile radius. So let's start with in 10 miles. So we're going to select that from our drop-down menu. And you'll notice that as we limit this search a little bit more, the results will get smaller and smaller and smaller. So just by limiting that to the 10-mile radius, you will see that we now are looking at 632 job postings. And let's say that we know we're only looking for a part-time position. So we will select part-time from this drop-down menu. And again, it's going to update that. And now you see we're looking at 218 job postings. So you can see that the more specifics you have in terms of narrowing down your search, the less job postings are going to be in your search results. However, they will be the postings that are most suited to your needs based on things like geography and what type of hours you're looking for, what type of a salary you're looking for. So let's say that we kept it right here. We were open to jobs in any kind of a field. They just needed to be within 5 to 10 miles of Butler. So we have chosen 10 to, again, start broadly and narrow it down. And we are looking at just part-time work. Let's say we're looking for just evening weekend type of a situation. So you can see that this has yielded 218 job postings. And then what you're going to want to do at this point is just scroll through some of these postings. And already you will see kind of a general idea as to what kinds of things we're going to be finding in this very broad search. So you can see that we're probably going to find some food service, we're going to find some direct support staff postings, some grocery store postings. This one is actually a seasonal posting. Sometimes they include the salary in the posting, sometimes they do not, but this is just a general overview. So let's say we have noticed that there is a part-time position available at Aldi, and we are going to want to investigate that one more, let's say. So we're going to click on this posting, and you will see over here on the right-hand panel, it is going to give us an overview. So this is going to tell us what kinds of things we can expect the job tasks to be. It might tell us if there's any type of an education requirement, such as a high school diploma, and then it will tell us what the job qualifications are. So this is the kind of information you can expect to find in postings on a site such as Indeed.com when you're doing a job search. But Indeed is not the only option when it comes to searching for jobs. So another tool I would like to introduce you to is a tool called LinkedIn. And if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, I would highly encourage you to take the time to make one. You can either use a computer to log in to the website, or there is an app for mobile devices that you can log in and create an account. And again, it's going to have you put in some of those job requirements that you are looking for. Do you want part-time, full-time? What is the geographic area? So again, I have just kind of made a generic profile up here that it is someone seeking customer service in the Butler, Pennsylvania area. And you can see up here, not only is this a job searching site, but it is a job networking site so that you can connect to other people in the area or in the field of work that you are interested in. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at this jobs icon right here. And again, it's going to bring up just a very basic search form for us. And just like on the Indeed posting, we're going to be able to narrow it down based on, we can search by zip code, we can search by job title. So if we know we want to stick with customer service, it even suggests some of that based on what we put our previous work title in as, which was customer service representative. And then it's going to show, just based on the limited amount of information on the profile that we created, which for this exercise, I just put in a name and a previous job title and a location. So it's going to show us just some basic, hey, here is the first thing that we saw that might fit your needs type of postings. And again, we're able to narrow that search down, and we can click on a posting to get some additional information. The last resource I want to mention to you is one that can be used in a couple of different ways. It is available online, but also it is more of a paper resource that is available to you as well, and that is the good old classified ads. Yes, people do still seek jobs through the classified ads. So our local paper, the Butler Eagle, actually has a website where you can look at some of the classified ads online, but also you can take a look in the actual print edition of the Butler Eagle and peruse the classified ads that way. When you're using a paper method, of course, it's a little bit different because you don't have the capacity to filter the same way we do with a search engine based tool, but it is still a good opportunity for people to do job seeking if they don't have access to the internet at that point in time. So we're just going to click here and take a look real quickly at some of the classified ads that are currently available through the Butler Eagle. And even though it is the online version, they are still in a pretty traditional classified ad format where it's going to give you some basic information either about the job or the company, where it's located, what type of hours, potentially what kind of salary, and then some contact information if you wanted to call and learn a little bit more, or if there's a website that you can access to learn a little bit more. So I definitely wanted to mention this resource because not everyone does have ready access to the internet, and this is a way that you can still do some basic job searching without having internet access. So this has just been a very brief introduction to creating a plan and the very beginning stages of the job searching process. Later on in this series, we are going to talk a little bit more about what types of information you're going to have to gather in order to create a resume or complete an online job application, how to prepare for a job interview, and then how to follow up with a employer after you have interviewed with them. So again, this is just the very basics of how to begin your job search. And know that the library is here to help you with these processes. So if you find that you are needing some assistance in your job seeking, please feel free to reach out to the Butler Area Public Library. What you can do is either call the library's main phone number and ask to speak to the reference department, or you can send them an email. You can reach them via email at BAPLREFENCE@bcfls.org. Again, that email address is BAPLReference@bcfls.org. I hope that you have found this video helpful. And again, please reach out to the library if you need any help with your job seeking process. Thank you and have a good day.